Have you ever had something completely true to say, but then stopped yourself because speaking up felt dangerous? You look around and see other kids freely sharing their opinions, laughing, and speaking their minds without a second thought. That hesitation is a calculated, deeply ingrained assessment of risk. To understand where that calculation comes from, we have to look away from the classroom and look at the living room. At some early point in life, you offered a vulnerable, honest thought to an adult you trusted, and you were simply met with a cold shoulder, a dismissal, or someone physically turning away from you. This diagram illustrates a harsh equation a developing brain quickly internalizes. As the metric for honesty goes up, the line representing connection sharply drops. You learn that speaking your truth carries a severe, immediate penalty. You start treating your own self-expression as a currency you have to trade away, just to stay physically and emotionally close to the people raising you. Staying quiet becomes an active survival mechanism. You train yourself to swallow your words specifically to make sure the people you depend on do not leave. As you grow into adolescence, the brain takes that childhood survival mechanism and upgrades it into a highly complex social filter. Every interaction is scrutinized before it happens. You find yourself typing and deleting messages over and over, desperately trying to avoid saying anything that could be misinterpreted or cause friction. In real life, this looks like constantly nodding along and mirroring opinions of your peer group, while internally feeling completely detached from who you really are. The entire strategy is to curate a persona that is completely frictionless and easy to be around. If you never cause a problem, the logic goes, no one will ever exclude you. You succeed in keeping your friends close, but the toll for that proximity is the total erasure of your authentic self. By the time you reach adulthood, this fear of rejection silently dictates how you operate in both your professional and personal life. At work, you can have valuable, distinct insights during a meeting, yet you sit completely silent while others dominate the room. At home, you bury true feelings behind a tense smile and a quick "I'm fine," avoiding any conversation that might cause conflict. This flowchart visualizes a faulty neurological mapping. The honesty node triggers a path to friction, firing a threat of loss warning. To quiet that alarm, you choose self-silencing, suppressing your truth to neutralize the perceived threat of abandonment. Society often praises this behavior, calling you a laid-back or easy-to-love person. But underneath that calm surface is an adult trapped in an exhausting cycle of self-protection. Eventually, the weight of maintaining everyone else's comfort becomes too heavy to carry. You begin to see that the easy person you've become isn't a collection of personality traits, but a collection of defenses you built to stay safe. While a naturally agreeable person chooses to compromise, someone living in this architecture of silence is operating on a survival reflex, deploying agreement as a shield to prevent the connection from snapping. Psychologists call the process of challenging this pattern boundary testing. Boundary testing is a therapeutic framework where an individual experiments with setting new personal limits, typically resulting in a temporary, sharp spike in anxiety as they navigate unfamiliar social terrain. Breaking the cycle starts with a single, highly intentional action. You take a deep breath in a casual conversation and decide for the first time in a long time to simply speak your truth. That one authentic sentence begins to dismantle the childhood belief that your truth will push people away. By risking the distance, you actually clear the path for a much deeper relationship. Clinical frameworks, like the ones explored here on Behavioral Echoes with Dr. Wallace, help us decode these invisible patterns, proving that our deepest fears of rejection are often learned and can be unlearned. It starts when you stop trying to keep everyone else comfortable. Look inward and ask yourself, exactly when did honesty become unsafe?